Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today, I want to bring to you an update I recently made to the Solo AI system that I developed a while back. And if you're not familiar, I'll talk a little bit about that, but also just talk about a simple rules update that's going to allow the AI system to work very simply and very cleanly with Wave 8, since we did get a new defense token. Also, want to remind everybody there's still time left to enter the latest giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos, and you're entered to win. It's as simple as that. All right, everybody. So if you didn't already know, I had made an Armada AI system through basically by using a deck of cards. And you can find this on Crabbok.com under /custom content /Armada AI. Or if you want to go to Crabbok.com right here, you can go to custom content right there and Armada AI system. It's going to bring you to the Armada AI page. This is going to be the basic rules, how you set it up, and basically the guidelines, and then talk about the deck of cards, which are right here. If you go to the top of this page, you're going to see a little link right here, and that is going to take you to the actual page that has the deck of cards in it, and you can print this out and you can cut these out, sleeve them, and use them as cards. But basically, before I get too far into the AI system, if you're coming here just to see the rules update, basically all I've done to make it work with Wave 8 is, since we do have a new defense token and the cards have special defense tokens, is I added a little addendum here to the top of this page right here. I added this actually March 21st. Wave 8 has introduced a new defense token, Salvo, that I've updated with the rules to simply reflect that AI ships with Salvo always use Salvo in addition to one additional defense token. Originally, a ship would only use one defense token if it was defending, an AI ship that is. And this way, Salvo is got added value in that it could mean a second defense token that an AI ship uses if they happen to have Salvo. And that reason that I added that is, for one, some people have already printed out this AI deck, which is built to be exactly 12 cards and using the existing defense tokens. And while I could add more cards for Salvo, it's a lot easier to run it with 12 for a number of reasons. The first reason is, for people who've already printed this out, well, that's going to work pretty well since they don't have to print out anything new. They don't have to change anything they've got. It's just a simple rules change. And the other thing is, some people maybe don't have access to a printer right now, or since some places are closing up, maybe you can't go up to a Kinko's and print these out on cardstock or whatever. All you have to do is roll a D12 if you maybe just want to print out the whole sheet and don't want to cut it out, or don't even have a printer, you just want to have this up in PDF format. Just roll a D12. And if you don't have a D12, I'm sure you can Google a dice rolling. There's all kinds of web-based, I want to roll a random number. But that's basically how this works. And every card is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through 12. And there's a whole lot of information on these cards. So if you're not already familiar with the AI system, basically it just uses this deck of cards to determine what the AI is going to do during their ship's activations. And there's something on every single card to talk about every single scenario, whether it's a command, whether we've got nav, we've got concentrate fire, we've got squadron, we've got engineering, we've got an even disbursement of those, or whether it's a defense token, we've got a pretty even disbursement of those, with a little bit of an advantage towards brace, since brace is a little bit more crucial and a little more common amongst bigger ships. And of course, if I were going to just add Salvo, I could easily drop 2 braces and just add 2 Salvos. But I figure a lot of people have already printed those out, and I'd like Salvo to be a bonus since it is so rare and so few ships have access to it right now, or at least have access to it natively. Of course, it can be added. But also there's bonuses that'll show up, and then of course attack priority and movement priority, as well as the numbers aren't just the number of the card, but those numbers can also apply to anything that has a numbered system, like which ship number you need to activate or where you deploy things. And you can find basically if you go to custom content Armada AI system, you can find a full breakdown of the complete rules on how to run it. Now, there are other Armada AI systems out there. This is not the first ever AI system for Armada. This is a very specific AI system for Armada. If you don't want to have to make choices when trying to play against yourself. That's the idea of this one. You don't have to say, well, what would what would a computer opponent or what would an opponent really do in here? What's the strategic best thing? Because some folks would love to do that, and of course you can play against yourself, making all of the decisions on your own. But if you don't want to have to make those decisions and don't want to have to think about what would an opponent actually do, and you want to just really try and win, this isn't a scenario that basically that you can run against. This is a particular flavor of AI opponent that isn't that smart. Is only a moderately smart. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, this guy's probably running at like a 4 or a 5, something like that. Now, the benefit for doing that is, first off, it might be pretty easy for a lot of people. Of course, since there's a little bit of degree of randomness, it might not be that easy. But the other thing about this particular type of AI opponent is that I've deemed it as a handicap-based AI opponent, and that you can probably give them an extra 50 points of list building when you're designing, your AI fleet. Now, you want to pick an AI fleet that's going to kind of, work well with this and have a little extra 50 points, maybe more than that. If you play this and you win and you do really well, you might say, you know what, all right, maybe next time I'll give them an extra 70 points or an extra 100 points. Or if you really want to challenge, maybe an extra 150 or 200 points to see just how well you can take advantage of the fact that your opponent, your AI opponent, is got to follow this deck. So this is not meant to be the last AI system you will ever run. It's really just meant to be something fun and something that's a specific enemy. Like, can you beat this particular system? And there's quite a bit of how to deal with upgrades, how to deal with attacking, how to deal with commands, how you resolve commands, and how you should resolve concentrate fire, squadron, engineering, and navigation, and all of that. So yeah, that is basically the way that the AI system is going to work. And I have also a video for when I initially talked about how to run it. So if you don't want to read all of that, you can watch the Armada AI system video I have here. I'll also put a link to that in the description, or rather at the end of the video over on the left-hand side, for those of you who don't want to necessarily read everything. But the big thing that initial solo Armada video does not have is the Wave 8. We didn't know about how salvo was going to work. And since now we do have salvo, you can simply add salvo to every ship that has it and just say they're always going to salvo. Now, that does mean if they have an exhausted salvo and they get attacked again, that they're going to use it at every available opportunity. So that's part of what the AI does. That's why they're not necessarily always the smartest thing to do, because you can kind of predict what they're going to do. And it's an AI with a deliberate flavor and a deliberate personality that doesn't play that well, but follows a specific set of rules. And that's why you give them an extra 50 points to kind of to start out and do that. Now, if you're new to the game, or perhaps maybe different player has to have different skill levels or whatever, you might not be able to beat somebody with an extra 50 points, and then you can just you can take it up or take it down from there. But I figure this is just a good time to revisit these rules, since a lot of people can't actually get out and play at their local stores right now, or play with a group outside of online like TTS or Vassal or something like that. So if you want to actually set up on your tabletop, put your ships on the mat, and fly them, this is a great opportunity. And I figured I also kind of just wanted to remind everybody about this particular AI system, since it's pretty simple to run. Again, just go to Crabbok.com and custom content, which will be up on the top, and then from that drop down, you're going to see Armada AI system, and then there's a couple other things too. I've got a Deep Space Nine, expansion that you can just print out, and then as well as a card for that. This one was really using the WizKids Deep Space Nine, and there's actually a little scenario that goes with it too, where there's a wormhole and you're literally merging two different universes. They also have a battle report from that scenario. You could run that. The funny thing is, you could potentially run Deep Space Nine with the AI system. You can have a Deep Space Nine AI. And that would actually be pretty fun. That might be a fun thing to run, during all of this. And then you can do this even if you don't have the physical space station. You could still print out the base. If you click on the base here, you're going to get more of a higher res version of it. And then you can just save that and print that out if you want. If you are going to print this out, I would recommend cutting it in half and printing it on 2 different sheets of paper, and then kind of like taping them together so you can get that real nice large profile for that big old station. I think that would work pretty well. And what else do we have? And oh, you know what? There is actually there's a nunchuck expansion somewhere on Crabbok.com too. I need to find that and add that to the custom content, which is another free PDF full of custom ship titles. So that's another thing that I had made a while back. So periodically I'll do like basically free expansions of free, Crabbok designed stuff, which you can get for free over at Crabbok.com. So anyway, that's just a plug for Crabbok.com, and that's about it. So be sure to check out the AI system. I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know if you've run it, if you are running it, if you're planning to run it. Also, if you're running it by printing out the cards, or are you gonna just have the card list open and just roll a D12, and then anytime you need to. I'd love to hear that, because I actually heard from a lot of people who are using this and discovering it as a way to still play your tabletop games while we're all sheltering in place or having our social isolation right now. So this is just I figured a good opportunity of things to do, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know how you're doing, and let me know how you're gaming during this time. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Big thanks to the patrons. You guys are amazing. If you're interested in supporting the channel, check the description below. There's merch as well as links to social media and Patreon, which you can support the channel that way if you like this channel and want to help us out. All right, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.